innocent players, Jack included. Talking about how it takes a little guts sometimes to go make that kind of a play and be aggressive and reading it and making it, but it also takes a coach who's willing to allow players to have that kind of confidence to go make a play if they see it instinctively. Where do you kind of fall on that in terms of the confidence, but also being careful and being prudent?
Yeah, I always call it a business decision, right? Make a good business decision. But more importantly, it's film study. I mean, that play has shown up. Been here 2 years now. That's been one of their staples. 4x1, running back motions in. I mean, we're all calling it out. Screening goal is next, right? We knew that, but they didn't, and they stayed on track. And sometimes as a player, you have a knack and a feel for it, and you never want to take that away from somebody. That play, that an opportunity to anticipate, to make a play. But again, I'm gonna go back to it. It's an educated guess. It's not a random guess, and I think that's good by our coaches. And obviously, Jack Jones took advantage of an opportunity.
Now that you are a coach, when you see a player take that information, digest it, and then go execute it, how pleasing is that for you?
Just smile, man. Just smile. I mean, I think our whole staff, right away, we're calling it out. It's in our headsets. Mm-hmm. You're watching. You hope that all the stuff we did in walkthroughs, because when you walk through, that's totally different than the real field. But again, it's muscle memory. It's visually. A lot of guys learn a lot of different ways, and that's what you learn as a coach. Some guys are film guys, some guys are walkthrough guys, some guys give me all the drawings. But then every once in a while, you get a guy that sees it all, and Jack Jones is one of them. We got quite a few players on our defense. But again, I'm going to go back to just our coaches. I think that's a credit to those gentlemen, just getting it ready, getting him in. He wasn't here the first time he played the Chargers, so obviously he paid attention in the classroom. That paid off.
Coach, when you first got here, Malcolm Koonce was a special teams guy, very deep in that rotation of edge rushers, and now he's doing what he's doing. Can you just talk about the progression that you've seen in him as a player and as a person from when you got here to now?
Again, there's been certain players that you watch from afar and you say, man, if this happened and that happened, this may happen. And I think Malcolm's a prime example. Sometimes you try to put a player in a certain role that doesn't fit him. And I think we found that role for Malcolm. We've adapted to the player because he's a legit guy that can turn a corner and burn, and you can see the explosiveness. I mean, that's, what you get on the other side, on the left side with 98, right? But now when you see that coming from the other side with 51, with 9, with the push, it's very promising and good to see. But that's something that I saw personally, and that's something that I want us to get to, getting 4 DNs out there on the field. 3 DNs, Patrick Graham and Matt and Robbie did a good job of, executing. It really worked with him. I think there was times since I've been here that, Malcolm, he did walk around with his head down a little bit, like, man, what's my role? Who am I? And yeah, special teams great. We all got to start somewhere, right? And obviously he's done a good job there, but more importantly, what he did yesterday was, wow. You can do that from the left and the right. There's going to be a problem.
AP, some coaches take the approach of, hey, this is a big game. It's not only a rivalry, it's still in the hunt. Others just try to minimize it, make it about one. What's your philosophy?
Are you referring to the Chargers? I'm sorry.
No, looking ahead now to the Chiefs.
Oh, the Chiefs. Another heated rivalry. Again, I'll just talk about the 2 years I've been here. We were up 17-0 there, Monday Night Football. 14-0 here at our stadium. It's just one of those games, man. It's going to be the same way. You can never count this team out. We know this is going to be a game that we got to do everything right for a full 60 minutes. And you're playing against, a Hall of Fame coach, one of the probably best quarterback in the National Football League, and a defense that's still playing lights out. So for us, what we did yesterday was great, just like we do when we lost. Reset, boom, put that behind us, look in front of us, and understand the challenge that we have, and play our kind of ball. I think yesterday that's what we want to do. We've done that twice now. The Giants in this game, where all 3 phases have contributed to a win, and if we can continue to do that, it'll give ourselves a chance to play well on Christmas Day.
Antonio, when you mentioned the certainty that you get from a guy like Max Crosby, Robert Spillane, veterans, but then conversely, Trey Tucker, Zamir White, Thayer Munford over at left tackle, Dylan Parham, can kind of go on some of the young players, Jack Jones, that you got contributions from and are getting contributions from. How satisfying is that, not just for right now, but maybe the future of this year?
I think you have to, if you're a Raider fan or you're within this building and you cover us, you have to be excited. All those first and second year players stepping up, rookie quarterback, rookie wide receiver, rookie tight end. What about the first play with Big Mike on Khalil Mack? Go watch that again. You want to talk about setting the tone? That's setting the tone. Second play, Trey Tucker up top. All right, we didn't catch it, but you see what our mentality was. And then all those guys on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, go back to Malcolm Koonce, 30-year player, getting significant amount of time. it's just promising. And most of the time in the month of November, December, they hit that wall, right? We talk about the rookie wall, that youth wall. I think our guys are getting better. And I asked us and challenged our team to play our best football in the month of December. And we're getting there. We're getting there. And it's good to see them guys learning. It also helps the older guys and not put so much wear and tear on their legs in practice. And that's what we're doing now, right? Getting these guys a ton of reps throughout the week. And then on game day, we're seeing the benefits there.
Coach, going back to Michael Mayer, you mentioned that first play. That was a hell of a block on Mac. And, you know, the tight ends always talk about catching the ball and making plays, but how important was that to be a dominant blocker as well?
First day I got up here, I talked about physicality and toughness. We can do all that. We can score 63, hell, we can score 99, 100. But if you don't play with a certain physicality and toughness and a mindset, it doesn't matter. You know, I told you we wanted us as Raiders and our staff, we wanted to look a certain way, sound a certain way, feel it a certain way, smell it a certain way. And that's what you saw the first play. Because listen, that guy wrecked. That guy, Khalil Mack, probably a Hall of Famer, he wrecked the first game that we played against. They said, we cannot do it. Where's Waldo? 5'2". Where's Waldo? Over there. Find him. And he has to fill us. And again, great player. But I really want to give our hats off to Mike, Jermaine, Monfort. I thought they did an outstanding job against a really good football player.
You brought in some former coaches last week, I guess. How they come about and how they help you a lot last week in terms of preparing for this game and what it meant for you guys?
Got just mentors, gentlemen who've been with me since I was 22, 23 years old, know me well. People that when I decided to get into coaching, that I always said, you know what, I'll take a little bit of this, I'll take a little bit of that. And their knowledge and wisdom is beyond anything I can ever try to mimic, make up, have in the building. You're talking about 40 years of experience between Coach Coughlin and Marvin Lewis. They've seen it, they've done it. They built programs and organizations from ground up. They turned bad organizations to really good ones and ones that's been winning programs. So why not learn from them? I'd be a fool not to use my resources.
What does it say to you personally that they dropped whatever they were doing to come over and help you?
It must be a lot of love. I guess I wasn't such a hard head when I thought I was when I was a youngster. I appreciate them. Listen, man, it's them gentlemen are up there a little bit in age, travel, all that kind of stuff, and just put the time and effort. Listen, I can't thank them enough.
You talked about last week you had to get to Tuesday to get past the loss. How much better does it feel here you are just a few days later, much different the next day?
Yeah, no, it's different, but it's going to be the same mentality. We'll wash this one out, and we got to get ready for defending Super Bowl champions. That's got to have that one. That's one for us that we want. We want that game. We want to play our best football. We want the outcome to go the Raiders' way.
Have you talked to Bo about the dynamic of having him upstairs, and is that going to be the case now going forward the rest of the season?
Yeah, I would assume so. It worked out pretty well for us, so it ain't broke. Don't try to fix it. Leave it alone. So I thought Bo did an excellent job. In a short week, overcoming everything. I think he felt the same way I did. It was a very humbling experience last Sunday. I think we both learned from it, and we grew from it, and obviously the outcome was much different than what we wanted. But I think it's something that we could probably do going forward. Yes, sir.
Antonio, whether the team has been trailing or has a big lead, the effort has been consistent, since you've taken over as interim head coach. As a coach, what goes into instilling that into the locker room? Like, obviously everybody says give full effort, but actually making sure that it's followed through with.
Yeah, well, effort starts when you walk in this door. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. What's your mindset when you walk in this building? Is it winning mentality? Is it loser's mentality? Or just trying to get through the day? It's not just the effort, it's your mindset. Again, since I've been here day one, I've always talked about the mindset of our team and being mentally tough and not blinking, being resilient, looking things right in the eye, not worried about adversity. And when you get to the grass, just work. Bad play, work. Good play, work. Sit on the bench, work. Everything we do is about working. You got all the other time to have the fun off the field, what you see these guys do in the locker room. But it starts with your leaders too now. Watch Max Crosby practice, which we all know, right? Watch Robert Spillane practice. Watch how Josh Jacobs finishes runs. Mike Mayer, Look at all these guys and what they do throughout the week. And then that now is resonating through the rest of our team. And when you get some young, fresh blood, some guys that want an opportunity, like a Malcolm Kuntz, right? Nate Hobbs, Jack Jones, Zamir White. And all of a sudden you get what you're getting on the field. But my hats are off to him. I told him at the end of the day, listen, I said it again, win, lose, or draw, fellas got to look right. They got to sound right. They got to smell right. And as long as we do that, we'll have a chance.
Antonio, DJ Turner was a guy that kind of had to work his way back onto the roster and figure out a way to get on the roster. And special teams was obviously his ticket. It feels like he's embraced that, and he had a great game yesterday. You know, what kind of message is that to some younger players out there that are trying to find their way in their careers?
Yeah, listen, everybody's not going to be the highest paid wide receiver or the starting center or the starting quarterback. What's your role? Embrace your role. Love your role. And we got about 5 or 6 players that they're just strictly special teams. Curtis Bolden's another one. Brandon Bolden, now he had a touchdown yesterday, but he's been there. Amir, same deal. Like, those guys have done an outstanding job for us on special teams. And to watch what DJ was able to do, I thought a big turning point in the game as well. Another turnover, another field position. All 3 units contributed yesterday, and it was just good to see those guys fly around. They challenged me a couple weeks ago and said, man, we're tired of kicking the ball out of bounds. Or excuse me, for touchbacks. We're tired of having a guy fair catch. We want to cover. Well, you want to cover. So we want to run a hit. All right, let's go run a hit then. And that's what these guys have been doing. And that's fun to watch. That's a mentality. I think it takes its toll, especially in the game now where everything is kind of like, ooh, you know, don't want to hit nobody. And we got guys that want to go down there and kind of pound and put their face into it. Yes, sir.
Going back to Sean's question about effort, you know, when a team is up at half a lot, like you guys were yesterday, how challenging is it to keep team fired up to come out of the locker room, like you mentioned, keep your foot on the gas pedal?
Yeah, and I know some of the results haven't been the way we wanted in the second half, but I still think that our purpose has been there. And the last 2 weeks, I really put more of an effort and energy in myself and what I deliver and what our coordinators were delivering to our players and the message. And again, you might see different things that we do at halftime to get going again, get our juices flowing. It's working. We feel good about it. I feel good about it. But the message is clear, man. We get paid to play for 60 minutes. And goddamn, the first 30 needs to look like the last 30, regardless of the outcome. And as long as we do that, getting to Sean's point, like, that's what we want it to look like, man. Like, love the game. Be excited to go. Because look, we're going to guarantee 3 more, right? And then we're going to have a long off season, or guess what? We might get a ticket to the dance, right? And we want to hopefully have a chance to play in the dance.
You mentioned last night that Jack Jones made these plays in high school and college. You talking about like hanging in the air kind of plays, or just impact plays in general?
Impact plays. He's always been a wild card, you know. Because sometimes hit or miss, you know, good and bad. But he's a very good football player. Football means a lot to Jack. Football is a way for him to get out of the hood, to be honest, where he came from. He used those resources to benefit his life, his family. Went to school, went to ASU, got a degree. He was a father, good man, been in some trouble. The kid does it with a smile. Right? Every time you see him, he's smiling. He loves football. Can't have enough of those guys around that love football.
Guys good? All right.
Thanks, AP. Appreciate you.